Good morning, guys. Good afternoon. Good evening, irrespective of where you are hearing me from. Yeah, this is a kind of first video on my YouTube channel. I'll be teaching us on how to cut pants, a native pants to be precise, because we have a lot of pants. We have the English pants, we have the native pants, we have the sweat pants, a lot of pants. But the part of pants that I'll be teaching us on how to cut is the native pants, and I believe you will enjoy this video. Please like and comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is like I said, this is my first video, and I'll be I'll be so glad if you show love by subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you. This is what this channel. Welcome to the table where we want to start the practical of the cutting of the native pants, which we know as Sokoto in Yoruba language. And for this practical, I'll be using a African print fabric, which is known as Ankara in Yoruba land. I don't know whatever you call it in your own language, whether Igbo or Hausa, but it is known as African print fabric, because we want to be cutting a native pant. That is why I'm making use of an African print fabric. Yeah, for this cutting, I'll be making use of this measurement. This particular measurement, the length of the pant is 40, the thigh of the pant is 26, the knee 19, the calf 18, the mouth of the fabric, the pant is 18 and 14 and a half, waist 35 and hips 38. Actually, the waist and the hips is not really important in the native fabric, native pant, unless you want to cut an English pant or any other type of pant. So let's get started. Firstly, you first of all fold your fabric. You fold your fabric. You know, when you want to cut anything, you fold it from the right part to the left part. The left part is the one that you want to use the chalk on. Then when cutting, while cutting, you want to start on the length. Before we start from the length, the knee, first of all notice the knee, the thigh. The thigh is 26. And why the thigh is 26? Of course, we divide it into 2. 26 divided by 2, which is 13. So we fold, while the one I want to fold now here is 13. And we are having 16 here, so it means it is too much. So we need to fold back. Okay, why? Now, so we are having our 13 aggregate here. We're having our 13 now. So we commence by putting a line here. We put a line, a very straight line. Why? Because why putting this straight line is because you want most of the fabric are not always accurate. So that's why I want to make a straight line at the top of the fabric. So now let's go. So let me put a straight line. So we start every of our measurements, we start it from the straight line we implanted up there. So now this is it. We start by measuring the length of the pant. The length of the pant is 40. So we first of all, you add 1.5 for the folding. Add 1.5 for the folding. So when let's implant here 1.5. So we also bring it out. So while from the folding part, you measure your length. You measure your length, which is 40 inches. Measure the length, which is 40 inches. Also measure it here, 40 inches. So you mark it out. Now we add 1.5 to the folding at the bottom, at the down part. 1.5 to the folding at the down part. Make sure your chalking is very accurate for accurate results. Why cutting your fabric is very important. You need to be very careful while cutting the fabric. Now, so we have our length of the pant from this first up line here to this part of the line is the length of our actual pant, and the other lines are the folding part. So now we've acquired our length. So now we continue by what? By the calf, by the knee, by the knee. So this is our actual length from this place to this place. This is 40. Now for us to determine our knee, we divide the length by 2. Then we divide the length by 2, which is 40. So 40 divided by 2, we have our 20. So which means this is our nail point. That's for our knee. Then for the calf, we measure. The calf is actually the part of the leg 7 inches below the knee. So that is what? 7 inches below the knee. So let's measure 7 here again. 7 inches below the knee. Alright. So now the mouth is this part. This is the part of the mouth. So we have the mouth, the calf, the nail, and this is our thigh. Now for us to determine the thigh now, the thigh is determined by probably guessing though. But for this kind of length, we have 40. We use it based on the length of the pant. So for this kind of length, we have 40 inches. So we are using 10 for the thigh. So that thigh, the thigh now we are marking 10 inches for this part. So when your length is 36, it's probably use 9. When your length is 37, 36, you can use 9, 9.5. You are starting your measurement from the folded part down to wherever inches you want to measure. So we have our 10 here for the 40 inches of the mouth. So now we have acquired our thigh, our nail, and our calf point. Now, mind you, we are going to acquire a line here. This line is based on shaping. Actually, there is what we call shaping in pants. It's mostly female wears. It's used in female wear, but it is also advisable to use it in male wear because it makes it look accurate while putting everything in. So now we mark this point out. We make sure it is not above this our thigh, because we already measured our thigh. Our thigh is already 13, so we make sure it doesn't reach there, and we mark this out like this. So now let's start with the measurement. Our thigh is 26. 26 divided by 2. So we have that is 13. We already know it. This is our 13 here. And our nail is 19. 19 divided by 2. 19 divided by 2 is 9.5. So we have 9.5. So the line you measured your 9.5. So our calf is 9 and 18. That's 18 divided by 2. That is what? 9. Then the mouth is 14.5. 14.5. It is 7 quarter. 7 quarter. So this is our 7 quarter here. So we'll mark it out. So now for this part, here we are going to reduce this length. Reduce this 13 by 1.5. Why? For us to acquire the top area, that is the waist. But on a normal basis, when we are cutting an English pant, I told you us earlier, when we are cutting an English pant, we are going to make use of the waist. But now this is a native pant, we are just going to reduce the thigh by 1.5. So let's reduce that by 1.5. So mark this point. So now let's join this spotted line together, spotted lines together. Yeah, so we need to curve this area for the store. So let's start our cutting. Now before we cut this part, we need to reduce the front area by we need to slant the stuff. Why? Because I will tell us the reason why. After I finish cutting it, I'll tell us the reason. So I need to spot out the line here. So we are cutting, start our cutting now. Alright, now we have cut the front part. This is the front part we've cut out now. So we are the various parts that which is the tie, the nail and the cap. So we are going to notch it for us to know it, to recognize it whenever we are seaming it. So the mouth part where we are to fold so we recognize it whenever we are seaming it. Now this is the front part. Then for us to do the back now, so we also fold again. So we are laying it on it. We place it on top like this, just like that. Now if you will notice, this place is just 2 inches, but it's supposed to be what, 3 inches. Why? Because for proper adjustment, in case the person wants to open his lap or do all sort of things with the pants, so that's why this place must be 3 inches. So we need to increase it. Alright, now we are good and going. So we have our 3 inches here. 3 inches, yes. So now remember, we reduced 1.5 here. We reduced 1.5. So now we are going to add it back. 1.5 that we reduced here. 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. So really line. Yeah. So now we are going to roll it back here. Also roll it down. The 1.5 we reduced. Okay, then also curve it back to this place. Now, if you remember, I told you we also reduced 1.5 here. Of course, this is the 1.5 we reduced to make it to join to this side. So we are going to add it back, which makes it 3. Then we do that and also bring it to join to this side. Now, the reason why I reduced this front part, it's for proper fitness of the pants. Imagine you wanting to bend down in an occasion and all the boxers or whatever you are wearing is showing. So that is the reason of this part, reducing the front and adding it back to the back part. So when the client bend down, the pants is still going to stay firm. It's not going to move. So that is the reason why we are adding it and reducing from the front and adding it back. So this part also roll it out. Now you add 2 to this place. Add 2. Depending on the fabric. Actually, at times I add 2.5, depending on the kind of client I'm dealing with. Probably the person might say, okay, it is too small, it is too tight, so I will be able to increase the size. So, but now the normal aspect is 2 inches. So now we'll join it also. Join it together. So off to this side. Alright, so we'll cut it out also. Alright, so we are also going to notch this area also So this is the nail, the calf and the mouth area. So let's cut this part out. Alright, so we have achieved our native pants. I've cut out our native pants. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate you. Please do not forget to like, comment, share to your friends, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please help a brother. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you. You are the best. Bye. Before I say goodbye, in my next video I'll be teaching us on how to take a measurement of a client. Watch out for that. Bye bye.
I want to tell them on me, like I said, cause it's just as you. Kill my friend by other as you. You must pay body like a Sanku. I'm a talk back on you like a Baku. Let me Super Mario running my Baku.